Hi, today we will be learning chapter 2 of class 9 of CBSE board, that is NCERT book. Hello viewers, this is Roktim and welcome to my channel Dare to Dream. In this video we will be learning what is polynomial, what is the degree of polynomial, can there exist any algebraic expression which cannot be termed as polynomial, and we will be doing thoroughly the hands-on during this video. We will be learning two theorems related to polynomial, factor theorem and remainder theorem, as well as we will be learning few algebraic identities or formulas which is very useful in order to solve the problems related to polynomials. So let us not wait too much and go straight into the slide part. Let us now first learn what is polynomial. Polynomial is nothing but algebraic expression which has no term having a power which is not a whole number. Now see the example in this slide. These terms like x square plus 2x or the next one 3y square plus 5y plus 7, these are polynomial. But at the bottom of this slide I have written down some terms which has power which is not whole number, like x plus 1 by x or y to the power 1 by 3 plus y square. These has terms which has power which is not whole number. So these algebraic expressions cannot be called polynomial. So now you can understand what is polynomial and what is not polynomial, because this is very easy. Polynomial is nothing but algebraic expression having terms which has power whole number. Don't worry about the constant terms like 7 here, because constant term has different meaning which I will be discussing in a minute. Now few terminologies related to the polynomial. Every part of the expression, individual part of the expression are called the terms of the polynomial, like here x square or 2x or 3y square, 5y or 7. These are the terms of this polynomial. And the constant term associated with every term is called the coefficient. Like for 2x coefficient is 2, like 5y coefficient is 5, like x square coefficient is 1, like 7 coefficient is 7, because 7 is nothing but 7 into x to the power 0, so coefficient is 7. And any constant term is called constant polynomial, like -2, 7 or 10, and 0 is called as 0 polynomial. These are the terms which are good to know. Let us go to a hands-on example. Here you can pause the video and think about these questions. Now you can unpause the video and check with me which among these 5 are polynomial and which are not. Number 1, number 5, number 2 are the polynomials, because it has all the terms which has whole number power. Don't worry about these constant terms, because root of 2, even if it has a power of not whole number, but it is not an algebraic expression, it is basically a constant term. 3 and 4 are not polynomials, because root over t has a power of half, and 2 divided by y, that means y has a power of -1. Now the next one, write the coefficients of x square in each term. Here coefficient is 1, because x square does not have any other term, constant term before it, so it is 1. Here coefficient is -1, here coefficient is pi by 2, here coefficient is root of 2. So these are the hands-on. Now go to next slide. 0 of polynomial, it is nothing but the value of x or value of the variable at which the entire expression becomes 0. You can see the term that is polynomial is 2x minus 1. If we put x equal to 5, then it has become 0. So it is a 0 of polynomial. What is its significance? You can understand in class. Now let us do some hands-on again. Verify whether the following are zeros of the polynomial indicated against them. Now I would suggest whenever I open a slide of hands-on, you pause the video and think on your own. After few minutes, when you think that you have enough thought, then you resume the video and see and check answer with me. For the first one, let us check for the first one. X equal to -1 by 3 is the 0 of this polynomial, because if you put here, then px becomes 0. Here 1 is 0 of the polynomial, as well as -1 is also 0 of the polynomial, because if you put 1 or -1 in this expression, it becomes 0. Here minus 1 is not 0 of this polynomial, because if you put minus 1 then the expression does not become 0, but 2 is the 0 of the polynomial. Similarly, you can solve the rest. Now find the 0 of the polynomial in each of the following case. We will solve the last one, which I have marked in box or red oval shape box, and the solution is in the next slide. So as I said, we have to make the expression 0 and get the value of x, because that is the value of x which makes the expression 0. So we have just equalized the expression with 0 and solve that x equal to minus d by c, which is nothing but the 0 of this polynomial. Now I have one food for thought for all of you. You have to think, what is the degree of a non-zero constant polynomial? You think and you reply me by commenting in this video. I am not going to tell the answer of this question. You think on your own. Yes, you can refer to your textbook. Now we have arrived to few important theorems related to polynomial. The first one is remainder theorem. Remainder theorem is nothing but part of division, which we all know. What this theorem exactly says: if we divide one polynomial by another polynomial, then the theorem holds like this. It is mentioned here: dividend equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now let us write this by the notations, because in the language it cannot be always visualized properly. So let us write this by notation. Say px is divided by gx, then we can write like this, where gx is divisor, px is dividend, and quotient is qx and remainder is rx. Let us do one problem. As I said, you can pause and you can think. You can see here px is this expression, gx is this expression. We just divided. I am not teaching you how to divide one expression by another, which you have already learned in your earlier classes. Now once we have got all the values, like qs equal to x minus 3, rx equal to 7x minus 9, you put all this and you can verify that this theorem which is described in the earlier slide is correct. Now go to another very important and interesting theorem related to polynomial, which is factor theorem. Factor theorem says, or n greater than 1 and a is a real number, then these two holds true. That means x minus a is a factor of px if pa equal to 0, and pa equal to 0 if x minus a is a factor of px. That means point 2 is vice versa of point 1. Now let us go to the proof and check it by the remainder theorem, because both the theorems are related and both the theorems are related to the polynomial. Suppose this expression px equal to x minus a qx plus pa, because this is nothing but from the remainder theorem. This is the quotient, this is the dividend, this is the remainder, and this is the basically divisor. Here in this slide I have already shown you. Now if you put pa equal to 0, then automatically px becomes this, which means number 1 is true, that is x minus 1 is factor of px. And if you put, or if you assume that x minus a is a factor of px, then in order to hold this relation true, pa has to be 0, otherwise x minus a cannot be factor of px, because unless pa, this part, becomes 0, x minus a cannot be the factor of px. So that is how we can prove these 2 point of factor theorem by remainder theorem. Now we have arrived to the hands-on of these 2 theorems. This problem says, use factor theorem to determine whether gx is a factor of px in the following cases. Px is given, gx is given. So we will apply the point number 1 described in this slide, that is x minus a is a factor of px. So here gx is x plus 1, we can rewrite this x of minus 1, that is x minus a form. Here a is minus 1. Now we put a in px and we have found that px is 0. So yes, gx is a factor of px. Now for the next one, we will use the point number 2. pa is 0 if x minus a is a factor of px. First rewrite gx, x plus 2 equal to x of minus 2. Now put minus 2 here and we have found this is not 0. That means gx is not factor of px. So that is how we can verify the 2 points of factor theorem by an example. Now few hands on related to factor theorem, which is very interesting. Now here it is saying the find the value of k if x minus 1 is the factor of px in each of the following cases. Now x minus 1 is a factor of px. Now if x minus 1 is factor of px, that means 1 is equal to a is equal to 1. Now we put p of 1 equal to 0, because according to factor theorem p of a must be equal to 0. We have found that k equal to 1. Similarly here x minus 1 then a equal to 1 we have put here and we have found k equal to 3 by 2, because if x minus a has to be a factor of px, then p of a has to be 0. We have just applied that from the factor theorem. Now we will be factorizing one expression, that is polynomial expression, that is algebraic expression, using factor. The expression is this one, x cube minus 3x square minus 9x minus 5. Now since it has x cube, x has power of 3, then it should have 3 factors. Now rewrite this expression like this: px equal to x minus a into x minus b into x minus c. Now 5 has 3 factors. What are those 3 factors? 5, minus 1 and minus. Now let us put, if these are the 5 has 3 factors, then a, b and c equal to accordingly 5, minus 1 and minus 1, because these are nothing but a, b and c, that is a factor of 5. Now put p of minus 1 equal to 0, put minus 1 here, or put 5 here. You will getting both the cases this is 0. That means this is the factor of this expression, and we can rewrite this expression like this. Here you may think that 5 has also factor 1, right? Not only minus 1, it can 1. 5 into 1 into 1 is 5. But then if you put 1 here, you will not be getting this expression as 0. That's why we cannot take 1. So it is the back calculation using factor theorem. Now few important formula. You have to remember these important formulas, but don't worry, when you will be practicing you will automatically remember, you don't have to mug up. In all the formulas, I am not describing each and every formula because that will be making this video slightly boring, but in all the formulas, remember right hand side is nothing but the expanded form of the left hand side. Now go to the next slide to use these formulas. One question: use suitable identities, that is the formulas which I have discussed in the previous slide, to find the following product: x plus 4 into x plus 10. So you have to use, I have not done it, I have left it on you. You have to use, I have given the key, you have to use x plus 1, x plus a into x plus b. This formula, that is formula number 4 here, in order to find this, where a equal to 4, b equal to 10. Just calculate and you will be getting the answer. Similarly, other way around, they have asked you to multiply this. You cannot multiply this simply, right? It's not simple multiplication. You have to use those formulas. Again, you have to rearrange. 104 equal to 100 plus 4 and 96 equal to 100 minus 4. That means you have to use this formula, formula number 3. So you can automatically calculate this. Don't multiply simply, which we have learned in the earlier classes. because that is not the intention of this hands-on. Now I have come to the last hands-on, which is related to the factor theorem but slightly different. They have given one expression which is nothing but the volume of a cuboid, and they have asked the dimension of the cuboid. Dimension means length, breadth and height. That means they are looking for the factor of this expression. That's it. Now you have to factorize this. You just can rearrange this. How? 3x square minus 12x can be written as 3 into x minus 4. Therefore, the dimensions are 3x and x minus 4, because the multiplication of these 3 has become this. So this is nothing but the 3 dimension of the cuboid. Basically, it is testing if you have understood the factor theorem of polynomial, because this is nothing but one polynomial having power square or power 2, and this is nothing but a volume of a cuboid. So this is the end of this chapter, class 9 chapter 2. I have referred this book, that is the textbook of NCERT. If you have any question, please comment on my video so that I can answer. And if you like my channel, do subscribe my channel, hit like button, share with your friends and press bell icon. That's all for today. We'll see you in the next video.